everybody, welcome back to Unique Vessel. It's Soraya the Vessel here, and like I promised for last week, today's video is going to be about if you stop going to church, does that make you a backslider? Now this was the second option in the poll that I put up on my Instagram story a while ago. And if you aren't following me on Instagram or any of my other social medias, the links for them will be down below, and they will also appear at the end of the video so you guys can see what they are. Now, without further ado, let's get started. So first, I think the best way to start off with talking about this topic is actually talking about what the definition of church is. Now, church actually has, in this day and age, has a few different definitions with like the people living in the world and then also with the biblical view. So first, we're going to go over what most people would call the church to be, which is the actual physical building that you go to for the different services, whether it be on Sunday or whatever day of the week that your local physical building holds a church service. But the Greek definition of this word is ecclesia, which means a called out company or assembly. In the Bible, it mainly refers to people. If you see me looking to the side, because I'm like looking at my notes, because I had to study for this, as I do with all my videos. And yes, it is a called out company or an assembly of people. Now, there's three different ways that it makes this claim. In Acts chapter 19, verses 30 and 41, it refers to it as like a mob, a huge group of people. In Acts chapter 7, verse 38, it refers to the children of Israel. And in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 22, and also in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 25 and 32, they are known as the body of Christ. But in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25 and 32, it refers to them as the bride of Christ. And in Ephesians 5:25, it's the verse that husbands love your wives as Christ loved the church and laid his life down for her. Now that's one definition. The second one is a body of individual living believers. And it says that in 1 Corinthians 15 verse 9 and Galatians chapter 1 verse 13. And number 3 is a universal group of all the people who trusted Christ throughout the ages. And that's in Matthew chapter 16 verse 18, in Ephesians chapter 5 verses 23 and 27. Now, many times in the Bible, believers are referred to as the building or temple of God. And just like a physical building has a cornerstone that keeps it all together from collapsing, our cornerstone is Jesus Christ. He holds us all together with his mighty hand. Now, with this being said, and all of these things I just pointed out, the church is not a actual physical building. It is the people that trust and believe in God, and they come together as one body, one spiritual body, and one mind. They agree on the same thing. That is the church. That is the church that God has called us to be. And now to get into the question that if you stop going to church, does that make you a backslider? Well, the church isn't a physical building. It is biblical evidence, like I just pointed out, that the church is not a physical building. That the church is a group of people that they are mentally, physically, in their heart believing in God, and they are living the lifestyle of living through him, that is the church. And I do not think that people who stop going to church are backsliders. Backsliders are people who completely stop believing in God. They go into the world, they do things that are of the world and completely not of God. Now, if you watch my last video, you would know that I got a little bit into the story of how I was being attacked for a little bit for me not going to church. I don't attend church at the moment because of personal reasons, and how I had got into a relationship before I stopped going to church with someone who used to go to church but stopped going to church, my boyfriend Michael. But like I said in the last video, that I was being kind of attacked and then constantly being like just told that, oh, you shouldn't be in a relationship with someone that isn't going to church because that means they're not in God. And the one thing that made me upset is that they made the quick assumption that just because he wasn't going to church, that because he like completely stopped following God, completely stopped having a relationship with God, which is not true. And I really wish that people would stop making those assumptions. And it's not to say that, oh, like you don't like have to go to church, or that like you shouldn't be forced to go to the physical building service like every single day of the week. For me, I stopped going to church because it's just personal situations I was going through. It was too much for me to handle, not just with like timing of the services, but just also my physical health. My body couldn't take it. Um, Emotionally, mentally, I couldn't take it. It was too much, so I had to take a break. But during the break, which is still happening now, that I didn't stop maintaining my relationship with God. In fact, I would say I actually got more closer to Him. I feel more closer to Him than I've ever been. There's days where it feels like it's hard, but what relationship isn't hard to maintain unless it's worth it? So yes, I believe that if you stop going to church, it doesn't make you a backslider. That because the one point that people do try to get across in their miscommunication or trying to prove their point is that having accountability and people surrounding you that are actually in the faith, that's the most important thing. Like whether they go to a physical building every Sunday or every Wednesday night or not, but coming together with a group of people. And you could be sitting in someone's house, you could be sitting in a Starbucks, you could be sitting in a park, and that is a church. The people that follow Christ, the people that trust in Him, and the people that love Him. So yes, that is all for this video today. This is probably the shortest video I have posted. And I'm trying to work on not having my videos be so super long, because I think the longest video I have on my channel is like almost 20 minutes, which is not good. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any commentary or feedback that you would like to tell me, I accept all feedback, all criticism. You can leave it down in the comments below. And also, I'll be putting up posts related to this video on my Instagram, on my Facebook, on my Twitter, so you can respond back to me on those social medias as well. And next Saturday, I'll be posting up a new video, and I will see you guys then.